Hello, dreamers. Welcome to the Dreamers Podcast. I'm your host, Anne-Lyse Wealth, and I'm so excited that you've decided to tune in today for another episode of the show. Today, we are going to talk about 5 things that you can do to 10x your income and your wealth. All right, let's get into it. So, number 1, expand your network. Exposure plays a huge role in what you see as possible for yourself. And also, having a network helps you have access to mentors who have done what you're trying to do, who can inspire you to do more, to be more. And it can also help you get accountability partners. I remember talking to millionaire mentor Cedric Nash. If you want to check out the episode with Cedric Nash, that's episode 107. When he talks about 4 millionaire mentors who have shaped his views about money, about wealth early on in life when he was a young man. And prior to meeting those mentors, Cedric had no idea what wealth looked like. He didn't know that it was possible for him. But being able to be around those people, having those mentors in his life, made him want to start doing things differently that would position him to build wealth. One of the things that he talked about is one of his mentors used to always read the paper and he used to always read books. So that made him want to read a book. So for the first time, he read his first book cover to cover when he was already in his 20s. He remembers meeting millionaires from his neighborhood. And prior to that, he had this idea of what millionaires should look like, be like. And he realized that no, there are millionaires next door. There are people who have accumulated wealth, but they also live a moderate lifestyle. And so it made him become a better steward of his money so that he could also follow into their footsteps to become a millionaire as well. All right. Tip number 2 is continue to learn. As I've been having this podcast, talking to a lot of wealthy people, one recurring thing is that they do not stop learning. So if you want to build wealth, if you want to 10x your income, if you want to 10x your wealth, then you have to continue to learn as well. Whether it is through listening to podcasts, reading books, having conversations with people, watching masterclasses, it is important to continue to learn and educate yourself. That is a non-negotiable. The more you know, the better you can adjust your strategy and the more you can accomplish. Also, still in that episode with Cedric Nash, he credits reading those books, some of the books that he read for changing his mindset. One of them was How to Be Your Own Stockbroker. Another one was The Magic of Thinking Big. Those books really expanded his mind. Every week I ask guests which book changed their perspective on life. Some of the books that keep coming back, Think and Grow Rich. Another one is The Richest Man in Babylon. I encourage you to go out there and read more, listen to some podcasts. There's some amazing podcasts about wealth. If you're not subscribed to the Dreamers Podcast, make sure that you subscribe so you never miss an episode. But there's also podcasts like Journey to Launch. There's Market Monday. So many options. There really is no excuse when it comes to being able to learn more and educate yourself more. And when you take the time to educate yourself, then you prepare yourself for the future. So for instance, right, Cedric Nash again, he inherited $10,000 from his grandmother when his grandmother passed. But because he had taken the time to educate himself, he was able to take that money, be a good steward of that money, and invest that money and turn it into millions and millions of dollars. But it all starts with knowledge. And the only way to get knowledge is to continue to educate yourself. Number 3, create a plan. You cannot work towards anything. It's really hard to make progress if you don't know what you're working towards. That's why it's so important to make a plan and for that plan to be tangible. So you have to actually write the plan down. I'm a fan of vision boards. So I start with the vision board. And then from my vision board, I create my plan. I create my plan for this year. I create my plan for the future. But it's important to write things down. And it really sends a signal to your brain to start working on it. Again, I interviewed Cedric Nash for Black Enterprise. And in that article, he talks about when he was in his early 20s, he created a plan. Really, it wasn't a plan. He just wrote things down on a piece of paper of what he wanted to accomplish and by what age. And even though he put that piece of paper away, he was able to accomplish almost 90% of those things within the timeline. I encourage you to write things on paper when it exists in your mind is not real. So I would say go even one step further than Cedric. Create a long-term plan, but also have your short-term plan of what you want to accomplish this year in terms of your financial goals, your life goals, and what you want to accomplish next year. And take the time to go back and look at it to see how you're evolving. Track your progress. If you haven't noticed yet, I am really literally walking you through some of the best advice from that article that I wrote in Business Insider about how Cedric Nash turned his $36,000 salary to over $90 million in annual business revenue and over $50 million in net worth. All right. Tip number 4 is you just have to earn more. I know a lot of the personal finance advice is don't spend money on coffee. Recently, I saw something that says don't spend money on breakfast. But it's important to have your expenses under control. It's very key. You have to track where your money is going, but it can't just stop there. In addition to that, especially the way inflation is going right now, has been going for the past few years, we have to figure out a way to earn more money. So whether it is getting a promotion at your job, whether it's getting another job, whether it's getting a side hustle, finding other sources of income, creating passive income streams, you have to earn more. That's just one key element, recurring thing that has been in almost every conversation that I've had with millionaires. So the assignment is to go and write down a list of things that you're good at and see if you can monetize that. If you want to go the route of building a side hustle or creating an additional income stream, or if you currently have a corporate job, then create a plan so that you can earn more money. And then last but not least, tip number 5, you have to invest. You have to invest the difference. So it's not just a matter of earning more and then being victim to lifestyle creep. You have to earn more, but then you also have to have the discipline to invest that money. I'm a fan of diversifying your investment. So don't just invest in one place, but to start, maybe you can only start with one place. So start with the stock market or start with real estate investing. Do all of the above, but it's important to invest. The only way your money is going to grow and turn it into wealth is if you're able to invest it and the investment is going to generate income from you. And the ultimate goal is to be able to live off of your investment. So not even having to work. Who doesn't want that? So in recap, here are the 5 things that you can do right now to start 10xing your salary, your income, and your wealth. 1, expand your network. 2, educate yourself. 3, create a plan. 4, earn more money. And 5, invest more. Invest the difference. All right? I hope you enjoyed these tips. And if you want more content like this, make sure that you watch the episode right after this one, episode 81, How to Make Your Life Recession Proof. All right, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I cannot wait to see you back here next week for another episode of the Dreamers Podcast. Bye.